Welcome to Sleepy History Tales. Tonight, we drift back in time to the bitter winters of the Middle Ages. Imagine a world without central heating, without fireplaces in most homes, without thick blankets or electric lamps. Survival was not easy, yet ordinary people found ways to endure the coldest months of the year. Tonight, we will walk slowly through their lives, step by step, to understand how they faced the long nights of winter. Breathe deeply, relax, and let the story carry you into sleep. The medieval village stands in silence under a pale sky. Snow crunches beneath wooden shoes, and frost gathers on the thatched roofs of tiny cottages. Inside, the homes are dark and smoky, with walls of mud and wattle. Drafts sneak through cracks in the wood, chilling every corner. Unlike great castles with large hearths, most peasant homes had little or no fireplaces. Instead, warmth came from the simplest of methods: layers of straw on the floor, the heat of animals, and the closeness of family. Imagine yourself stepping into such a cottage, with the faint smell of earth, damp hay, and the soft breathing of animals nearby. The first defense against winter was clothing. Wool was the fabric of life. Families spun wool from their sheep, dyed it with herbs, and layered it to trap warmth. Men wore tunics over shirts, and women wore long dresses with aprons and shawls. Everyone wrapped their legs in woolen hose and covered their heads with hoods or coifs. At night, layers were not removed, but kept on, even in bed. Sleep was not the luxury of silk sheets, but of piling garment upon garment, feeling the weight of wool pressing down against the cold. At night, families often slept together in one bed or in the same room, huddled close to share body heat. Children nestled between parents, grandparents lay beside the fire pit if there was one, and sometimes even neighbors joined during the coldest nights. Privacy did not exist, but warmth was more precious than space. The family dog or the goat might curl up near the bed, adding another layer of heat. The sound of breathing human and animal was the lullaby of winter. Food also played a role in survival. In winter, fresh produce disappeared, so people relied on grains, dried beans, salted meats, and root vegetables stored in cellars. Warm porridge in the morning gave energy for the day, while hot ale or mulled cider in the evening warmed the body before sleep. Some households prepared simple herbal tea infusions of mint, chamomile, or nettle-leaved to strengthen the spirit against the cold. Eating together, with steam rising from wooden bowls, brought a brief sense of comfort against the long chill. But warmth came not only from food or clothing, but from the way homes were designed. Imagine a cottage with low ceilings and small doors, built to trap heat. The floor was covered with straw or reeds, replaced often to stay fresh and provide insulation. Families hung tapestries or animal skins on walls to block drafts. Windows were small, sometimes covered with oiled parchment instead of glass, letting in light but keeping out the icy wind. Even without a fireplace, every detail of design tried to keep warmth in and the winter out. Perhaps the most surprising survival strategy was the use of animals as companions. In the coldest regions, families often brought their livestock inside at night. A cow or a few goats tethered in the corner gave off steady warmth. Chickens clucked softly in wooden boxes, adding both heat and eggs. Though the smell was strong and the space cramped, the body heat of animals was a precious gift. For peasants, survival meant accepting discomfort and learning that warmth sometimes came with the scent of the barn. The daily rhythm of work also shaped how people endured winter. Heavy labor chopping wood, carrying water, kneading bread, tending animals kept the body moving and the blood warm. Idleness was rare. To stop moving was to grow cold. Even children were given tasks, gathering kindling, spinning thread, or watching livestock. By evening, exhaustion wrapped the household, and sleep came quickly, even in the freezing air. The rhythm of survival was the rhythm of motion, and there were also rituals and beliefs tied to the season. Many peasants feared winter spirits, and charms were hung above doors to ward off sickness. Songs and prayers were whispered beside flickering candles, asking for warmth, health, and the return of spring. Festivals like Yuletide brought moments of joy. Evergreen branches were hung inside homes, candles lit, and bread shared among neighbors. These small celebrations reminded villagers that winter would pass, and that endurance was part of life's cycle. As the long night deepens, imagine yourself inside one of these cottages, wrapped in layers of wool, lying beside your family, with the muffled sounds of animals in the corner. Outside, snow falls quietly on the roof, but inside there is a fragile warmth built from bodies, breath, and simple things. There is no fire roaring, no furnace humming, only the resilience of people who endured by staying close, working hard, and holding on to hope. Tonight, as you drift to sleep, be grateful for the blankets around you, the heat at your fingertips, and the silence of your own room. For without these comforts, you too would struggle through a medieval winter without a fireplace. Sleep well, and let history carry you gently into dreams.